Hi, my name is Nguyen, and I'm External Vice President. The people who've impacted me the most in my life has definitely been my parents. They have, both of them have been my role models in that all the good characteristics they have, I want to grow up, I want to embody, and everything, all the struggles and problems they've gone through, I've learned from them already, and I know how to better myself from their experiences. But the biggest impact my parents had on my life has been them giving the Vietnamese culture to me, giving me a background more than just being American. I guess an defining moment in my life has been when I went back to visit Vietnam and just getting to meet my grandparents for the first time, my family for the first time, and my grandparents just being so ecstatic because I could understand the Vietnamese language, just because I could speak and converse with them. Little things like just saying hello and how are you, grandpa, grandma, school's good, blah, blah, blah. It really, things that I take for granted here, because, I say hi, how are you to everybody, it's whatever. But over there, being able to say that to them in our own language really, made them so happy, just because they would always tell me how other kids who came back to Vietnam, how they don't understand Vietnamese, they can't talk to their grandparents, and how they were so scared the same as would be for me because I'm their only grandchild over here in America. And just having them just be able to connect to me in that in our language, being able to understand certain cultural sentences, just little things references they have really hit me, because I definitely took for granted also my culture. I grew up very whitewashed. I'm what you say a Twinkie. I lived in suburbia my whole life, and so to me I never speak Vietnamese to anybody except when I went home, from after school to when I sleep. Those are the only times I speak Vietnamese, and then because my parents don't speak English at all. And so during that time, I was just oh, it's whatever, it's never going to apply anywhere in my life, I'm never going to take it anywhere. But having that connection with my grandparents and having having that experience of going back to Vietnam and just being able to see little things that I never grew up knowing, it just made me realize how blessed I am to have all that in my life, and how of course everybody is blessed with their own little ways, but I'm very happy that this is what my parents have given me. And I guess in connection to that, is another defining moment in my life has been last weekend. I went to the SACE conference, and I met a bunch of Asian recruiters. SACE is Society for Asian Engineers, and so I made a bunch of recruiters, and one of the recruiters I met, he is Chinese and his wife is Vietnamese. And so I told him how lucky his kids must be, because they probably know Chinese and Vietnamese. How crazy, right? And he said no, they don't understand, they don't know any of the languages, they don't know Chinese or Vietnamese. And I asked him why don't they know any of that? He's why should I teach them? It's not a big deal. They're in America, they're not in China or Vietnam. Why should they learn this? And then I told him how much of a gift my parents had given me by making me learn Vietnamese, by making me have to struggle. English is my second language because of that, but through that struggle, I gained so much more. And I told him that, and he didn't believe me. And from even though he didn't believe me, I learned a lesson from that, in that when I grow up, when I have kids, I want to teach them the language. Even if by that time I don't remember anything, I can only say hi, how are you, even little things like that, I want to teach them. Because even, I don't want them to ever meet my grandparents and not know how to say, politely, jiao ba, jiao ba, ba khỏe hông. That's just a little thing, I want them to say that. And it would hurt me so much, and them so much more to not know that. And as you can tell, my family, my culture has really, really defined who I am. And being Vietnamese American to me means that, I have this culture behind behind just being American. Besides eating hamburgers, I can also go home and eat pho. And not only that, but that support of my culture means I have the support of my family, and because of that, I try to hold myself to a higher standard. Being Vietnamese American means that I have so much of higher expectations to reach. Knowing how hard my parents have worked the whole entire lives to get where they are, knowing how hard my family in Vietnam has worked so hard to get where they are, sets that standard in which I know I need to reach. I need to work just as hard to get where I will be in the future. I know my parents believe in me, my family believes in me, and like they're behind me full way in support. But I know as the oldest of like the only child here in America, and I guess the daughter of the oldest son in the family, I have to set a level. I have to be a role model to my little cousins and all my little nieces and nephews, because like I said, like I am in America and I am the oldest, so I have to be the best I can be. So they will always try as hard as they can to be the best they can be. Being Vietnamese American means that I'm Vietnamese before I'm American. You know, I was born Vietnamese before I was American, and my mother always told me, you know, like you may call yourself Vietnamese American, and you may be American in like your education, your college, your high school. When you're home with me, you're Vietnamese, and Vietnamese people don't give up no matter what, you know. And so I really took that to heart. And even though I know I'm not perfect and nobody is perfect, I will never ever give up on my search to be the best person I can be. My past makes me who I am.